on my mind. Girl, that girl thinks she has the upper hand. Wants me to be her man. She thinks I love to make him weak. She used to love to keep him strong. And emotional loves in there, and I realize I listen to every word. That's why I tell her that I love her, that I want her, that my mind and soul and body needs her. Tell her that I love her, bam, that I want her. What's up, y'all? This is Rico the Opinionist. I am on. This is Friday Night Live. And I meant to do it earlier, but, I said I was going to start coming on earlier. Rico the Opinionist. I am on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I share my opinions all across social media. I talk about some of everything. Some of the same things that other people are talking about. I just put my own spin on it. I think it's what makes me a little different than others. I tend to put my spin on the same topics. I kind of shoot from the hip. And I wanted to, I know it's 2 topics on here. I want to try to keep them at 2 because y'all know me. If you've been a part of my lives, I'll go all over the place. For those of you who are brand new to my lives, you'll learn that I tend to go all over the place. Even though I have 2 topics written down on this page. Black consciousness. Is there any black consciousness at these black colleges today? And let's speak honestly about this so-called anti-Asian hate. So if y'all got a few minutes, I'm not going to go long, I swear. I'm trying to keep it at 30 minutes because I like to really vet out. I like to really go into my thoughts, get them all out. I don't want to do like half and just kind of throw stuff together. So if you don't mind, just bearing with me if you want to sit a minute, grab your snack, grab a cocktail, grab a friend, y'all share this. And if you're on my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Instagram, you can follow me. It's cool. I don't mind. Because you feel like this is an interesting content. And on Twitter, you can follow there too. I don't mind. And so this is Friday night. I'm sure y'all are out with your mask on. Doing your thing. So I'm in here doing my thing. Trying to stay safe and stay COVID-19 free. And I'm not going to allow, even though I want, you want to go out on nice, pretty nice and kind of springy like. You want to get out and revel. Nah, I can wait till next summer 2022. I'll still be inside all during this year as well. I don't care what any mandate says or any of that stuff. I don't care. I'm still gonna be inside. So anyway, I want to get right to it. My first topic, it's not going to take long. It's some articles I've been noticing on Facebook. And shout out to my man Shannon Reeves for putting this, who's Grambling graduate and also a college administrator himself. Put out this article where the president of Tougaloo College just resigned and accepted a position at a PWI, and he expressed how much he loved the community of Tougaloo College, and he loved the students. But he's just, I'm just tired of fighting with that board and fighting with those weird-ass old traditions. And so he say, hey, and the white colleges are paying a lot more for his talents. And it's like being in social work. It's like being a teacher and in social work. The job doesn't pay well. You enjoy what you do. You enjoy work with the clients because you want to genuinely help them. But then the clinical director, hell, your supervisor, let's say probably the owners of the agency or the facility come in and dropping off all this extra work and all this extra conversation. They want to meet all the time. And hey, you want to try this? Hey, we're about to institute a new plan here, or we try this therapeutic tool that you may deem helpful in your practice when you work with the clients. Now, they don't do hardly any of the work. It's like to push paperwork and stuff that kind of deters you from actually doing the work with the clients. That's how I got burned out in social work or being in the agencies. I'm still a social worker at heart and even, professionally. I still enjoy working with people. Even during the pandemic, I'm working out a way in which I can get back to working with people, even if I have a nonprofit and I'm deciding what I want to do with it. And I think I want to, with my nonprofit, offer, probably free counseling or something to the public. Don't worry about it, just come in, let's have a conversation kind of deal. I'm working on that. I'm thinking about using it for that. It's called Black Man Mojo. Yeah. And of course, mine will be very specific. Black males, young black men. And so whatever I can do to enhance the lives of black men and black boys is what I like to do that. Without all the paperwork and all the foolishness, just actually doing the work. And so that's what I think is going on. Not just at Tougaloo College, but at a lot of other HBCUs. That they're losing probably very valuable and quality administrators to white schools. Because white schools, they pay. They respect your talent in a lot of cases. Then after a while, you get tired of the little subtle racism there. Sometimes very not so subtle. But anyway, HBCUs need to do all they can to keep these top administrators. And that leads me to can I talk about the culture of HBCUs for just a second? And in the title, it asks, is there black consciousness at black colleges? And I don't know. I've been to homecoming at my dear Grambling State University quite a bit over the last years or so. And it's just a feeling. Maybe I guess homecoming is not enough to gauge what the culture's like at your former HBCU. But I have a feeling that something's not there. Something's not there at these black colleges as it relates to the culture. Because if y'all have noticed, especially since Obama was elected in 2008, but really in 2012 up into the Biden-Harris election, every time they talked about black colleges, they always showed the black Greek-led organizations. They always showed, Robert said there's more. What's up, Robert? They said there's going to be whites attending. But even with that, Robert, they always, whenever they present the HBCUs, they always show the black Greek-led organizations. Now, I attended a straight up 100%, 98% black college. I went to Grambling State University. And I can tell you for a fact that black Greek life was not even it was not that big of a percentage of black culture at these HBCUs. And I see now that every time they talk about HBCUs, all they show are the black fraternities. And one who's gone there, who's very active at his university, know damn well that the black Greeks were not active on our campus, except for, step shows. But as far as the meat and the root and the eating of the campus, black Greeks were not involved in that. They were too busy, trying to please people and kind of be elitist and be kind of, separate and throw parties. I mean, they're a social organization. That's what they do. But I don't like this wave of whenever they show black colleges, they always just show these black Greek-led organizations. That's not true. At our Grambling State University, if it were not for the foundation of the culture being pushed by the students who are referred to as black conscious students, I say we because I hung out with them every once in a while, but I was always the lone wolf. I always did me. I think I created my own space among the space of consciousness at our school. You know, you had groups like gods and goddesses, or gods and goddesses of the earth, the sons and daughters of Imhotep, 5% Nation of Islam, the Nation of Islam Student Association, as well as individual thinkers who read books of the African-centered scholars. We were the backbone of Grambling State University's consciousness, not black Greeks. They were never part of any kind of black consciousness. They just happen to be black who pledged these Greek organizations. Don't get offended, black Greeks. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Because if you are African conscious, you would not be black Greek. Get it? If you found out about John Henry Clark, if you found out about Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, if you found out about Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, you found out about the scholars you have never pledged. Because you can't be Greek and African. One has to give. Look it up. You ain't got to. So you can know stuff about blackness because you're born black, and you know about Dr. King. And let me tell you, the black Greeks, they love W.B. Du Bois because he was an alpha. They love Dr. King because he was the alpha. No, if there was black Greeks and they happened to be part of the civil rights movement, that's who the black Greeks like. Unless people like Dr. King went outside of the Greek thinking and started saying, you know what, I'm for black people. That's when the black Greeks don't play that. You know how they did Colin Kaepernick? The Kappas didn't fool with Colin Kaepernick as long as he was standing up for black men being murdered. But somehow they came out later on after all the smoke was gone and smoke is settled. They wrote a letter saying we think he should be hired on for a job. That's what they're about. Savelle, what you been, bro? So yeah, and this is not a diss to the black Greeks. What I do is share information that you can research yourself. Shout out to Steve Coakley. His whole series of Busting Out the Boule is what taught people like me and others who dare say it out loud. And so when I graduated in 94 of undergrad, the conscious community was kind of dwindling because they were there all the way up until like 93, 94. I mean, strong. All the protests, all of the activism was done by black conscious students. That's why we had the black bookstore. Hey, Pearl Walker. That's why we had the black bookstore. It was like a base for conscious students. It's called Black to the Basics. Shout out to Brother Zoltan. Chancey, is it Zoltan? Yeah, Zoltan. What's up, brother? He created a black bookstore there on our campus that had all of the authors who were there. Who it was like a hub where they had meetings and did poetry in that bookstore. It's still there in the village. Yes, Julia Hare. That's right. She happened to be an AK, but she was beyond AK. She was bigger than them. They wouldn't have fooled with her anyway. Y'all see what I'm getting? Know the purpose, know who the black Greeks are. They're cool people. A lot of us are our friends. They throw the best parties. Yeah. And who is, hey Christy, how are you? Farrell told me to say hello to you. Hi. And so having said that, I think when I graduated from Grambling in 1994, undergrad, and please tell me I don't hear that in the background. I got some hood-ass neighbors. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, let me see. Hold on, don't y'all move. Oh, shit. Oh, I told you I got some hood-ass neighbors. Let me tell you what just happened. They just threw up my flow. See, I can hear... God damn. Look. Young people just moved upstairs. And she just yelled, 911, hello, 911. My baby daddy just pushed me down. I just saw him, and he ran his little bony ass down those steps. If you can hear it, he she's on the phone with 911, and he just pulled off in his red truck. And she said, "Yeah, he's pulled off in a red truck. His license plate number is such and such and such and such." Look, y'all. I don't know what I did to deserve this. All I did was pick the apartments 2 years ago. It wasn't like this when I moved in, but I'm telling you, when they moved, hell, I already did a video about my next door neighbors in the domestic violence, and they was cutting up 2 days ago. Say, how did I end up like this? Damn, I'm gonna have to earn more money. Damn, in order for you to have some peace, you got to pay at least $1,200 a month for a 1 bedroom. I don't know in the future if I want some peace away from the foolishness. I got to pay at least $1,200 to $1,300 a month, because you can't pay what I paid in all, what, $900, $785, and then they add all the stuff to it, like $785. Damn, I guess that's considered not enough to get away from the foolishness. So anyway, as I was saying, sorry y'all, thank y'all for your patience. My God, I said, come on, lease. It's up in June. But anyway, so as I was saying, I stopped off at Dr. Julia Hare and her being AK, and they wouldn't fool with her anyway because she was too strong. But Black consciousness, when I graduated in 1994, I think that is when Black consciousness actually left HBCUs across the country, because up in the 90s we had poetry. There was poetry groups, and it was Black consciousness, neo soul music, and I think I stayed on for 2 more years to work on my master's degree, which from 94 to 96, which kept the momentum going, in my opinion, at my university, Grambling State University. Let me tell y'all something. When I graduated, and a lot of administrators and professors thought I had left, and they saw me walking on campus heading to my graduate school class, they were like, oh, "You still here?" It lets me know that the black folks don't want Black consciousness around them. These, what I call the so-called educated, the Negroes with the good jobs, and particularly the fraternity folks, so the Black Greeks, they don't want that. Because if you know in history, it was always a Greek that fought against a conscious Black. W.B. Du Bois fought against Marcus Garvey. Jesse Jackson, Black Greek, fought against Minister Farrakhan. And the list goes on. Every time there was a Black conscious person suggesting Blackness and Black unity in history, Dr. King, Malcolm X, and all those civil rights leaders, they were all Black Greeks and gays. They fought. They shunned the Black Panthers. They shunned Dr. King. They shunned anybody Black who said, "We are Black first, Black middle, Black last." They always said Black Greek in some kind of leadership position to be the opposition to Black unity. Just do the history. Read it. And that's what's going on in our major Black cities. Black consciousness is not wanted by these Black Greeks because they're the gatekeepers. They want all the glory for themselves because they want the rewards for say, "Master, see, I kept the niggas at bay." They try to look around. They always celebrate only the Black folks with positions. If you dare, your last name some African name or some Muslim last name, or you're labeled as a militant. And I'm saying that to say this. I don't think there's any Black consciousness on these campuses. Let me give you an example of my own university, Grambling State University. For those of you who went to Grambling State University, do y'all remember when the football team had an uprising, when they had a little protest about the conditions of the school? The conditions of the playing, the practice field, the practice locker room. Now, this stuff was just so subpar. What's up, Ian? Welcome, brother. It was subpar in the football team. Now, the football team is a pinnacle. It is a top group on everybody's campus. When the football team stands up to take a stand, you would think that everyone else would gather around. Well, it is interesting that a lot of, even because I read the comments online, a lot of people were against those young black men. Come on, y'all. Standing up for what they believe was an injustice. And they had a few people, from what I understand, who were standing up with them. But had there been a solid, conscious community there. See, when I was at Grambling State University, it was at least 400 to 600 students who were solid. We led all the protests, knocked on the president's door at night and said, hey, this is not right. Of course, I wrote my newsletter, wrote articles and said, this is not right. And you had all of them, all of us band together. Even the people who weren't considered conscious, they were impressed by it. But the black Greeks never joined in on stuff like that. And so now, that football team was kind of hushed down. And all the so-called Grambling alumni saying, well, y'all ought to be grateful. Y'all got scholarships. It's not that bad, man. When I was there, it was worse. Instead of standing behind those young people, standing behind those young black men who were standing up for something. See, that let me know then, this was a few years ago, that there was no black consciousness at Grambling State University anymore. When I left in 96, and it kind of meandered a little bit up until 2000, but officially in 2000, no more black consciousness at these HBCUs. In 2016? I'm sorry. After when did Trump get elected? 16. Yeah, when Trump was elected, all of a sudden the white liberal left created what's called the woke. Now the woke was like an offshoot of the lesbian organization Black Lives Matter. No, they're fighting white supremacy and all of this kind of shit. See, that's different from consciousness. Consciousness is what we were and what a lot of us still are at 50 and stuff. See, we read the books. We met the authors. We met the scholars, our people. You know, I had the chance to meet Dr. Ben Yakahanan at Rust College when they had Student Leadership Conference. I had a chance to meet Brother Ashwakwesi, Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing, and others, scholars, our scholars who passed on, Steve Coakley. I had a chance to meet a lot of them thanks to those student leadership conferences. I read quite a few of their books. I met Dale Jones, who wrote The African Holocaust. Yeah. I'm going to go get the book and read the entire thing. Yeah. We had to meet Dale Jones, and Dale Jones wasn't, the black conscious students brought him there, brought him at the Club Renaissance. See, black consciousness is the foundation of the culture of who we are. But people don't want that. This woke thing started when Trump was elected because white liberals funded Black Lesbians Matter, and they brought this fake awareness of race all of a sudden. But those of us up into the 90s, consciousness was already there because we've done the work and met the authors and had the real. We used to have intense conversations on the steps of the student union at Grambling State University. And so it kind of throws me off whenever they present the black universities or HBCUs. They only show the black Greek letter folks. They don't ever have the brothers and sisters with the unks on and the African Senate garb, because black consciousness was the thought or the thinking or the consciousness of Grambling State University. Come on, somebody. And also, what makes up black culture? We had club organizations like the Texas Club, California Club, Mississippi Club, the religious organizations, the Masonic orders. The campus was full of life, had everybody represented. So when they put on TV, every time they show black colleges and they put black Greeks on TV, that's not fair to the rest of us. And of course the black Greeks are not going to say, you know what, you tell the truth, brother. They need to have some conscious students shown. What's up, Travis? Kevin Monk, what's up? They're not going to correct it because it's ego and it's arrogance. But luckily, I'm still here to tell y'all the truth of what black consciousness is. And it's not on these campuses. All you have on these campuses now is a bunch of empowered, hard-acting, masculine women with weave and beat face and a bunch of effeminate little young black men. Not all of them are gay. They're just unaware, they're unread. And if there's some conscious students, even on Grambling State University's campus, It's probably 10 of them, and 8 of them are probably girls. Look, man, I'm just sharing thoughts. You go to any one of these black colleges across the country, you won't find any black consciousness. It's woke. See, let me tell y'all something real quick about this woke. Woke came about only because Trump became elected. And the liberal left did not like him because and the liberal, and hell, a lot of right-wing Republicans didn't like him because he wasn't part of the system. He was just out of nowhere paid for his own campaign with his own money and became president. See, that knocked a hole into the whole concept. Well, you need to be a governor. You need to be a senator. You need to be a congressman, at least so you can be qualified to be president. No, all you have to do is have money in this country. We live under capitalism. We have money. Money makes everything move. It doesn't. If you don't have dollars, it doesn't make sense. If you don't have dollars, you can't make change. So this is why these black colleges really just a bunch of mindless, black-faced white kids. Because black consciousness isn't a part of it. You can't have a black university without black consciousness. And why in the hell isn't there a department, or at least a major in African and African-American studies at most of these black colleges? You have them at the white schools, but not at the black colleges. So I know damn well there's no black consciousness. I think the professors at a lot of these black schools, they try, but they're probably being held hostage, can't speak to their students the way our professors were allowed to speak to us and, talking black to us, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I guess talking black to me, shout out to Vicky Dilliard on YouTube. Talk black to me. Y'all hear that? I can't listen to her that long. She's all over the place, but, I always thought that was funny when humorous when she says that. Talk black to me. Anyway, white supremacy. It's funny how they start saying the word white supremacy because white people told these black kids to say that. People like me was saying it in the early 90s because Dr. John Henry Clark talked about it in the 60s. And others talked about white supremacy. Neely Fuller wrote a whole book on white supremacy, racism and white supremacy. If you don't understand it, what it looks like, if you don't understand its purpose, its agenda, everything you see will only confuse you. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing took his theory a little further in her work. That we were saying white supremacy back in the day. No one else would ever say it because it was too black, too militant. So all of a sudden now, you got all these black folks talking about some white supremacy. And they don't even want to say white supremacy. They want to say white privilege. Not white privilege, people. It's white supremacy. See, if you had done the work, the reading that we did, the books and the authors. See, when we became all multicultural and all that, we stopped being into our black selves. That's why we're in so much trouble. We stopped being into our black selves. You got out, and HBCUs are closing, not because of white supremacy, because black folks don't find them valuable anymore. You got thousands upon thousands of black people who graduated from HBCUs over the past 50 years. And a nice majority of them send their kids to PWIs. Now, they're successful managers, CEOs, and business owners, and what have you, celebrities and all of this. They're celebrities right today who went to Grambling, didn't send their kids to black colleges. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So I can always be proven wrong. Matter of fact, next year when I go to homecoming, hopefully I go there a few days early, I'll ask the question at my own HBCU. So wherever HBCU you went to, go around and ask, who are the black conscious students? Not the woke ones. Because a lot of them will be a bunch of feminist, angry black chicks. But the conscious students. They'll know what you're talking about. And when I visit Grambling one of these days, or probably on my own, outside of a homecoming, I'll pose the question myself, hey Grambling, are there any conscious students here? And if so, I like to meet with them and find out what their experiences are here. What their experience is at this, what these around these woke lesbians and LGBT and effeminate and a lot of these guys, young men, especially these little dudes wearing these tight ass pants like they got on leggings. Leggings with Jordans on. I like to know because consciousness is the foundation of black colleges. Not black Greek life. Black Greek life is just a part of it. just like say your king and queen of your school. The marching band is a big part of it. The football team is a big part of it because it's just a different thing. Now, guess some of the sports. Hey, Molly, sweetheart, how you good? And so, yeah, so I just wanted to just pose the question: is there still black consciousness at black colleges? And for me, if you were to ask me, I'll say hell no, because there would be a lot more upheaval going on at these black schools. See, when I was there in the 90s at my university, I talked about everything. I joined in on protests, if not started one myself. I had individual protests about the financial aspect of the university, who was stealing, who wasn't a great administrator. I called out the VP of Student Affairs. I called out the president of the university. I did everybody. Nobody was off limits for me. But you don't hear that going on anymore because, again, when I graduated with my master's degree, finally gone from Grambling State University, there was a sigh of relief. Even when we were students, the Student Government Association president was not under the spell of the administration, but they did what the conscious students demanded of them. But see, because conscious students, they say, hey, we're students here. We pay tuition. So why the hell aren't we acting like we're the boss? The students are the boss. But nobody's there to tell these students today, you can get whatever you want, because if you're not there, there will be no university. If you're not there, there will be no president of the university. If you're not there, there will be no deans and professors. I always said that in my newsletter. I always spread that to tell students I acted the way I acted because I knew I was the boss. I knew that my tuition made it possible for everybody who works there, who taught there, who was administrator there. I made it possible for them. So if I knew if me and 5,000 others left and took our tuition elsewhere, it would be just an empty shell of a university. And that's called consciousness. That's called empowerment. But students today believe that the president of universities have all the power. It's not true. They believe that the board that governs these schools, they have all the power. No, they don't. Because there's no black consciousness there. The black Greeks are not going to teach that. They just like, doing the Greek shows and all that. Hey, Nancy. Bobby Woods, what's up? Nancy said, no more Public Enemy, but more Cardi B. No more conscious folk, but just a pack of bubble gum. You are so right, Nancy. I just posed that question. Where is the black consciousness, and can we start recruiting? Where's the dean of students at these schools? But, again, most of these people in leadership positions at these universities are black Greeks and or black gays. And so this is what you have, a bunch of wokeness with girls leading the pack. A bunch of angry feminist girls with weave and beat face with a lot of attitude. Yeah, sexy, right? Okay, let me go on to my next topic. My next topic is this Asian craze that's going on, this anti-Asian hate that's going on. I've been, again, reading articles, reading responses, checking out people's Facebook posts and Instagram posts. And you know what? I have to keep me a throw bag near me. Again, I keep saying on my lives, y'all don't make me seem like I'm the only smart guy in the room. Because I know I'm not. I know a lot of people around me, those who even look at my lives or my YouTube channel videos, I know you're smart as well. But I guess it only takes a particular people to say these things out loud, because everyone else believes that they have something to lose, as if I don't have something I don't want to lose. But I guess when God gives you an assignment, come on somebody, you can't help but follow directions. Oh, glory. So let me go on with my assignment. It was something that sparked me to do this. I saw an article that was posted, I guess now 2 hours and 30 minutes ago, that says Biden and Harris flies down. My man Dewey, what's up? Biden and Harris flies down to Georgia to meet after the spa shooting, meet with Asian leaders. And I was like, golly, black people are not even paying attention. Black people are not even paying attention. Did any president and vice president go and meet with those black folks when after that white boy shot up their church in South Carolina? But I know a president went to Sandy Hooks when those white kids were shot up at that elementary school. Did any president ever or vice president ever go to Chicago any one of those weekends where 80 to 90 blacks were murdered? But this president who just fell on his ass on the steps on the airplane today, I know y'all saw that. They gonna get up and then first he touched on the third stump, he like, oh shit, that hurt my knee that time. Ooh. Then he gonna try to hop up there and gonna like do a Barney Fife salute. Let me get my ass in here. These folks trying to kill me. You know, then they number Alzheimer's. Too old. But anyway, they made a special trip down to that part of Georgia to meet with Asian leaders. And blacks aren't paying attention. And what's gonna happen is y'all gonna stop. I'm gonna stop worrying my nerves about the plight of black folks, because all it does is kept me broke and kept me depressed and angry. In the 90s, it kept me drunk. I'm not blaming you. It's just, you know, I've been learning in the past 5 years. Rico, don't care. Stop looking at news articles. Just stop it. Learn to take care of yourself. And because nobody else seems to care, but you and a few others. Nobody seems to care. They work their job, they live and do this and that, and you know. And I hate being in this position to give a damn. I honestly do. At this point in my life, in my 50s, I really hate giving a damn. It's bothersome. Can't sleep. Got other stuff going on. Can't concentrate on some stuff. No, and you know, I haven't resorted to drinking like I did in the 90s and early 2000s. I don't do that, you know, to soothe the anger and go out and party real hard and try to, you know, get some. Oh shit! Sorry. Sorry. And get some sense of normalcy. You know. There you go. And get some sense of normalcy. I haven't done all of that, but so that's why I at least talk it out with you. And it's just a shame. We don't even get it. And I keep saying it because we don't read anything that the scholars wrote for us in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. You know, we romanticize a lot of that stuff. Oh, Langston Hughes, okay, he wrote this. Phyllis Wheatley, her poems were so great. Dr. King, I have a dream speech. But we don't, do it. And so, we don't pay attention to what the scholars are saying, because we don't want that charge. We don't want that assignment. I think a lot of us purposely avoid the critical and analytical thinking. I think a lot of us purposely, because we don't want to be critical and analytical. Now, we'll talk each other's head off in private, at parties and all that, but we won't do it publicly. We won't share with other people publicly. And I get that, I guess, but it's like, that's even gotten tired. You know, they'll talk my damn head off. Rico, man, what you did? Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. What you did, man? I'm like, go to hell. Yeah, you sit in your nice corporate job, your cushy gated community home and shit, or you got your nice beautiful car and your beautiful family, and they're all gonna, you know, you got all your shit because you don't do what I do. You don't say what I do out loud and in front of people. Because you believe that, you know, somebody white will hear it, then it'll take you down what you have. Or somebody black who's an Oreo Negro who will say, oh my God, I think that person is kind of, you know, that kind of anti. And they'll probably ruin your job. I guess, you know, you have to be assigned this thing. So I don't be mad at you too tough. I swear I don't be mad at you. I understand. And in order to be like this, you have to understand that some people have their limitations, but it gets tiresome. At least the people who didn't agree with Dr. King publicly, if they agree with him privately but didn't dare be seen with him publicly, they did at least help get him out of jail. Y'all can agree with the person, but y'all ain't help him out. Y'all know what he or she is saying is going to get them castigated or cast out or lose a job or whatever. Y'all want to say, well, shit, let me hit them with something. Let me hit them on their Cash App, their PayPal. Let me help them make a living. As long as they're going to tell the stuff that I want to say, but I can't. Fool with them. But we don't even do that. That's the weird part about it. But then you want to talk their heads off all the time. That's why I've always said, I don't discuss anything I've discussed on live with anybody outside of this shit. You know, that's why if anyone say if I have a T-shirt that's considered controversial or what I say on this live, that's why if you ask me a question out in public, you need to hit me with that $100 on my Cash App or my PayPal, and I'll answer your question. But I'm not gonna give away this shit outside of this. I'm giving it here to you free. Dewey says there's no attention or mention of the scholars much anymore. Many view them as antiquated and obsolete. You are so correct. But what they said is we're living it. Bob Marley said, if you don't know your past, you don't want to know your future. And also, somebody else said, I think Malcolm or John Henry Clark said that you're destined to repeat it in the present. And that's what's going on. And so, but luckily, I'm one of those persons in the 90s that paid attention. I haven't read everything, and I haven't met all the scholars, but I got a chance to meet some cool ones and read their books and got pictures with them and stuff. Shout out to Dr. Naeem Akbar, Dr. Julia Hare, and all those folks, Dr. Joy Leary, and post-traumatic slave syndrome. I read Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu when he talks about if you want to destroy a black man, destroy him as a boy, and that is happening even before us. So anyway, this Asian stuff. All of a sudden, the world is so upset about what's happening to Asians, but I don't care what the world does. Hey, Miss Adrian, how are you? The problem I have with any of this is I always monitor our behavior, because Elijah Muhammad told us more than 80 years ago that the white man is the devil, and I believed him. And so I've always behaved as if I have that knowledge. I don't have that many problems. I don't get in trouble with white folks. I don't have these Walmart interactions or these Kroger interactions with Caucasians. Maybe I grew off of energy like, look, it's not me. You get that nigga over there. I'm not the one, bro. Now, I think they can feel it off of me or something. Even when I've worked in these jobs, they know they can feel my energy. Like, I'm not a hateful man at all. I don't dislike, I'm not. But there are certain white folks who know particular black folks who not to play with. And I'll go on record and continue to say, the only black folks they get in entanglements and bullshit and set up with white folks, the ones who trying to be around them. You moved in the white suburbs, you send your kids to the white schools where they go at, you go to everywhere they go that's white, and then you get shocked, you get your feelings hurt when they act white on your ass. Some of you dating them and having children with these people. Yeah, I said these people because they're a separate group. See, everybody becomes a separate group when it comes to their education, their politics, their economics. We don't understand that. We're still trying to get validated by people we believe that we're genetically superior to. So, this Asian thing, isn't that something? They want to talk about, stop the Asian hate. We got all these black celebrities with this bullshit. But the media never talks about, let's go to that shooting really quickly before I go further. I saw a brother on his page, he posed this question. He said, I wonder what was going on in that massage spa. Because the guy, if you've been reading, said he was a sex addict. And he went up in the Asian massage spa. And he said, wonder what was going on to trigger all of that. And so people got upset. Oh my God, you're blaming the victim. It doesn't matter what was going on. There was people dead. These old integrated, assimilated Negro responses instead of your critical and analytical thinking. Because someone else also said on this brother's post, well, damn, when this black people involved shooting, they always ask, well, what was them black people doing? How come they was there? How'd they get there? I need to see what else is going on. But to pose that question about another group, it's almost sacrilege. Wonder how. See, that's those blacks that make it harder for the real blacks. Yeah, that's the difference. And so, sex addict goes into a massage parlor. So we always joke about how these Asian massage parlors, me love you long time. Happy endings everywhere. Happy endings all up in there. Ooh. We know about that, but all of a sudden now y'all are not gonna connect it to a sex addicted 21-year-old goes up in there, and all of a sudden there's shooting going on and murders. Jacqueline Harris, how you doing, sweetheart? It's just questions. Don't attack me. And they're legitimate questions. Let's put all of it together. What was going on? Oh, me so horny. I know I went too far. God damn. That's but it's a song by Luther Cameron. Oh, me so horny. We love you long time. Oh, me so yeah. Damn right. But see, it's interesting how they try to make this group of people such victims. But so we're not gonna mention again how they even made a movie of how Asians, and they'll even break it down to Koreans, Vietnamese, South Koreans, North Koreans, Cambodians, Indonesian. They just say Asians. And let you know that how they lump them all together to get that uniformity protection of all of them. And then they show, and one person asked, so are these Asians going to call out the white supremacy or the white terrorism of white folks? The good question. I put that on my post. His name was Damon. Shout out to Damon Thomas. That was a good question. So are these Asians going to point out the white supremacy and the white terrorism of white men, white people? I guarantee you they're not. You know why? Because Asians come over, fly over for scholarships or whatever. They come over here voluntarily. They weren't brought over here in bowels of ships. They weren't brought over here against their will. They come over. And they blend right into white culture. They don't fool with Negroes. If anything, they live out the racial stereotypes about blacks. They get these grants or whatever government handouts to place their businesses right in the center, in the heart of black neighborhoods or other neighborhoods of lower income colors of lower income. Fix it out. Fix it up. Figure it out shit. Yeah, blacks, Mexicans, and others. Blacks and Mexicans. And then they're allowed to have their own communities. But see, a lot of these folks, we've known some Asians since we were little. And their kids grew up on taking out little food stamps, taking out little change, people buying beers and cigarettes and all that stuff. And they've sent their kids, not to black colleges, but to white colleges. Because then they take their money to the suburbs of the city that they live in. So all of a sudden now there's this blacks attacking Asians? And we're falling for this anti-Asian hate? Come on. These Asians are just like Oreo blacks. When white people hurt their feelings, all of a sudden they start blaming other people instead of the white folks. So forgive me if I don't color my Facebook page, yellow and white, pray for Asians. No one has done that. It's just me doing me. It's almost as weird that when I see black people do red and blue to some pray for France. You mean the same France that's making Haiti pay them $500 billion because Haiti decided to win a battle against their tyranny, their enslavement. So France is making a poor-ass country like Haiti pay them back. You mean that same fucking France? You ignorant. God damn, these niggas are stupid. Because they haven't read what the scholars wrote. They're embarrassing. Blacks are embarrassing in this country. They're embarrassing. And so now we're in more of an embarrassment, right? Well, so we need to stop the anti-Asian hate. We got so much hate in our own community we need to be dealing with. We got to deal with the gangs. We got to deal with the drug dealers. Yeah, we got to deal with the individual hate that we have because you Greek, I'm not Greek. You light-skinned, I'm dark-skinned. You go to AME, I go to Southern Baptist, we got too much work to be doing to be distracted by other people's bullshit. That is not our business. Then you got the LGBT to come out with this crap called intersectionality. More diversions to reparations. Black people, pay attention. All these diversions to reparations. Pay attention. What's up, Gavin? Pay attention, black folks. We act like we don't have good sense. And then you have the president and the vice president going to meet with this tiny ass group of people. But they will have one conversation with nobody black about reparations. So anyway, let me try. I see somebody coming on. I'm gonna see if this works. If you want to talk to me, try to press that little red or green button. Let's see if this thing works. Hold on. All right, let's see, approve. Add. Let's see if this works. Come on. I guess it doesn't work. I guess it doesn't work anymore. 'Cause I tried to bring you on. It doesn't work anymore. Dang it. I should have gone on live on the other ones. But anyway, you might have to send it through Messenger. You might have to call me, bro. Send me your number through Messenger, and you can tell me the point. And we can chat about it, because I cannot bring you on here. I'm gonna have to get more on my YouTube channel so people can talk. So anyway, we need to pay more attention to this thing. We need to pay attention to our own business. You know, we're so busy trying to be Democrats. We're trying to be liberal. We're trying to go for political parties that don't go for us. And Asian people don't hardly, they don't even hardly vote. But see all this attention they're getting, because you know what they do? They participate in this country in a way in which we've fallen off. They participate in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We participate in entertainment and sports. There are a few of us who've gone on to that part, but that should be the mass majority of us. Hell, we can't even get our own relationship between men and women together. Asians just command the attention of this president that credited black women, black people with getting elected. And they go and have a private meeting. First, they had a private meeting with them at Emory University. Then they came outside of the university and made public national statements condemning anti-Asian hate. You understand what I'm talking about? But we're not paying attention. That's the stuff that keeps me up. I'm gonna have to keep my hair low, because hell, I'm gonna find myself pulling out my fro, fooling with us. But that's okay. Y'all gonna see me disappear gradually. I'm gonna quit fooling with this shit, because there's no rewards in talking like this and sharing this. I'm gonna have to clean out, sanitize the internet with all my points, all my newsletter, all my opinions, all of my thoughts, get it out and start over from scratch. I wanna. I want to do like a lot of my comrades have been done, man. Get that cash and take a hike, or stay low, stay out the way. But it is what it is. And so, but let's do this though. Someone they were bringing up, people around the world holding up Black Lives Matter signs. The Asians did that. Yeah, thank you for the signs, but it was Black Lives Matter. They didn't represent all of us. They represented their little core group, and guess what they did? Made $90 million off of ignorant blacks, and they moved on. And they're not trying to share the money. And I'm not one of those cats that like to say I told you so, and y'all know this. I always tell you beforehand. But people like me, and it's not just me. It's across YouTube. It's in the city where you live. Black folks trying to tell black folks, but since we don't look or sound like the way you want your messenger to sound, you ignore it. And I know how you want your messenger to look. I need to pull up in a Bugatti. I need to be probably 6'1", light skinned with curly hair and hazel eyes. Or at least if I'm gonna look like this, I need to be tall and be famous and a celebrity when I'm able to tell black people something. Poor blacks with a lot of knowledge, black people ain't listening to them. I know this, and I've been trying to get there. I'm working on it. If I can just stay focused, because I'm a smart dude, I am. But we get to focus when the Creator gives you an assignment. And I don't know when I can get out of it. I'm working on it. Maybe I need to go to therapy and help them get me out of this assignment, so I can live my life at least the last 52, at least the last 30, 40 years in bliss, and not worry about this shit. Who knows? If I can get this shit out of my head, I can probably actually get married and have children. Yeah, in my 50s, I have some kids. I know I won't be able to see any grandkids, but I'll enjoy raising them. Fuck. Because if I can just leave this shit alone. Marry me a cute little 25 to 32-year-old. Damn right. Who wants a 50-year-old bitch? But anyway, no offense to my older babes, but we talking about reproduction. When you get over 40, medically impossible to have kids. And so, and I like to have fun, and be out and shit. So sometimes little 50-year-old chicks 48, 45, knowing they want to go home because their grandkids coming over. I ain't about that life. So anyway, I but it is what it is. I'm nice to whoever likes to me as long as she's cute. We're gonna have to get a grip on us being so easily distracted. This Asian thing ain't got nothing. Does not have anything to do with black people. But I know why a lot of blacks do it, because we got a lot of go along to get along Negroes. We do everything that's trending. It's trendy to say something about Asians because you think somebody look at you like, yeah, that's right. Really, y'all whole white people will tell y'all it's cool because we still seeking white validation. And you not paying attention to what's going on with Asians ain't got nothing to do with being hateful or loving or not being loving or anything like that. We have a lot going on in our own community, in our own race, that if we take our time and actually look at it, we'll take us the next 100 years to get this work done. But we don't want to deal with our own work. We want to be distracted by what other people are doing because white other folks told us that that's what y'all need to be concentrating on. And then you've taught 2 generations of black kids that they don't need to be concentrated on black stuff. Black issues. We got 40 million blacks in this country. We can't even get 5 million blacks to send at least one of their children to a black college. See, that's the stuff we need to be working on. We got 40 million blacks that generates trillions of dollars for a bunch of non-black companies and entities around the world. But we can't even fund our own school system and place and put people in place who can teach our children. We're not thinking like that because we don't read the scholars. And I'm going to tell you this, and I know you hate when I say it, but if y'all can put that goddamn Bible down and pick up Carter G. Woodson's Miseducation of the Negro and pick up Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth. What's up, bro? My brother Eric, what's up, man? If we can put those books down, put that damn Bible down, and even that Quran, put that down and start reading the books that actually motivate us and push us into progress that relates to our race. I guarantee you, other people will be looking at us with a certain level of respect instead of disdain. We also have to do some self-checking. We let a lot of stuff go by, and we don't have enough. We need an anti-defamation league for black people to shut down a lot of these dumbass rappers putting out these dumbass images and these people who work in these dumbass movies and TV shows that show the worst of us. But instead, we keep reading that Bible instead of Carter G. Woodson's book, instead of Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor, White Wealth, and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book, The ISIS Papers, instead of Dr. Joy Leary's book, The Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, instead of all these books that help us. That Bible don't help us move forward. It's help us to become deeper, deeper, deeper slaves, more and more afraid of whitey. That's what that Bible has done for black folks for the past 100 years. And then we'll get mad and we'll argue with each other about that damn useless book. Trust me. Now, you can say, Rico, shame on you, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's all. You ain't got to call me no liar. You ain't got to cuss me out. But prove me wrong. Those other books, other people read their cultural books. That's why they're still cultural. That's why they move as a group. We read that damn Bible, and we get separated every Sunday. We don't want to hear anything other than that, and that's why we are economically, politically, and educationally at the bottom, because we will not read the books that actually move our race forward. We got to get some more history in us. We got to get some more importance of economics in our people. We need to stop pushing our children towards arts and entertainment and send them to STEM, science, technology, and engineering, and mathematics. I'm just saying. And also, black colleges were created because your great-grandmother was not allowed to go there unless she was the cook or she cleaned up at the university. Your great-grandfather was not allowed to go there unless he mowed the lawn. Well, now all of a sudden, 100 years later, white woman kissed a white man, black man have kids by white chicks. All of a sudden, we're all together now. And then I'm listening to a commercial here in Dallas. You got a biracial chick. What's her name? Jade, Lady Jade on K104. Then you got a white man. Then you got this Negro, so-called Afrocentric preacher. What's his name? Of Wild Wild West, of Friendship West. and she's talking about some, now again, a biracial chick. I think she's a Delta. And a biracial chick, a white man, and a Negro preacher who claims to be so African-centered. Dr. Freddie Haynes talking about this is a commercial that's going on here in Dallas. We need to come together, make Dallas a more loving and come together cultural place. And she's saying we need to talk about our issues. We need to talk about the issues, have the hard conversation. Fuck that. How about we talk about sharing the money? Everybody always wants to talk to black folks about, let's come together and have a conversation. But the conversation always shuts down when it talks about equalizing the money. We get so focused. People can have sex. People been fucking each other even during slavery and before slavery. That ain't the problem. We've been partying and dancing and drinking multiracially for centuries. But what breaks down the talks in the races is when you say, where the goddamn money at? Nobody wants to talk about the money. Your white boyfriend, your white girlfriend, your white husband, talk about reparation to your white spouse, black person. Y'all don't have those conversations. That's why interracial relationships are fake. If you can't talk about reparations in your interracial relationship, y'all it's a fantasy fucking relationship. You're not. Because I'm telling you, when black people start dating and marrying white people, they ignore race. They don't want to do it because they know the shit it's not naturally appropriate. Or you had this black dude with this kind of butterbean, kind of very Becky-like white girl. He just talking, yeah, man, the black folk this. Why are you talking about it with the white girl? Why don't you marry a sister? You want to talk about race? And the black women don't hardly talk about race too tough with their white men. They get to go a little further, but they know they go home with their white man. See, we need to be honest about shit. You know, we around here talking about stop the anti-Asian hate. Hell, that's not our issue. But we never talking about how over in Asia and China and Japan, they dogging the shit out of African immigrants. You know why? Because we're not connected to our own continent. We'll never talk about that. Those Japanese are treating the darker Japanese like crap. Those the Mexicans in Mexico who look like me, look like Don Cheadle, who look like Angela Bassett, they getting treated like shit. Everywhere you look like me, whether it be Mexico, be it in China, Japan, Israel, they treated like shit. And you Negroes are here talking about we have to go and get those children from the border. Because y'all don't read. You have no interest in blackness. What I said earlier, there's no black consciousness at these black universities. It's like a lot of kids that go to the white schools have more consciousness than they have at the black colleges. About stop the anti-Asian hate. How about we stop these Asians from jumping on black chicks in these damn beauty supply houses? How about we stop that? How about we stop these Asians from following somebody black in their store? If you're not gonna buy anything, you leave the store. How about we stop that shit? How come I need a brigade of blacks across the country to start putting up all the videos. Some of them been doing, but we need to come out and say, what the fuck y'all mean? It ain't us that's mistreating Asians. It's been Asians that's always mistreating blacks. And we send our silly ass around here because we got a good job or because we're ignorant as fuck. We need to stop the anti-Asian hate. Blacks are stupid. There's something wrong with this country. I know what's wrong with it. We're not reading the books. We're going to read that goddamn Bible into our own demise. Read. If you want a copy of my Black Book List, email me. Send me a message. Send me your email address. I'll send it to you. Pick one of the books to get you started. Start off with Carter G. Wilson's Miseducation of a Negro. Then go to Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth. And guess what? There is one video, if you would take your time out to listen to. He's at a church with the speech. His name is Dr. Claude Anderson. He's at Fred Price's church. It's called Inappropriate Behavior. 1 hour and 54 minutes. It'll change your life. He breaks it all down. And he's not a boring lecturer either. Very charismatic. You can see him with Dr. Boyce Watkins every Thursday on his YouTube channel. He's 85, 86 years old, still trying to get the information out to blacks. Why in the hell we have to almost go to our graves and still trying to teach Negroes? That don't make any damn sense. Letitia, how are you? Angelique Denise Dixon, how are you? You know, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like black people purposely hard-headed. We don't value black worth shit. But we stand up to value other people. And I'm not suggesting we hate anybody. I love going to festivals where everybody's there. But even when I'm there, I feel there's a certain emptiness and sadness. I said, how come black people can't have a beautiful festival of just us? Even in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, this thing called African April. Hell, they shot it up every year when it was in the community of Douglas, the North Memphis where I'm from. And then they took it downtown. And they had it every year, a lot of beautiful African arts and artifacts and paintings and stuff. And the Negroes in that town like, ooh, that art costume, real pure shea butter, hand-woven blankets and quilts and clothes, everything, beautiful, authentic stuff. And these Negroes, man, that stuff too expensive. And they had live music and stuff, and really, I enjoyed African April in Memphis. Even when they moved it to Beale Street, that's when they had all the stuff there, right? But they took out Douglas Park. The person who created it took it out of Douglas Park and put it downtown Memphis and on Beale Street and that park. I forget. Somebody will tell me what the park is. And so, did I say Letitia? I'm sorry, Latosha. My bad. And then at some point, the crowds would be down there. So they said, well, they started charging, I think like $8 or something to get in. It's nothing major. Oh my God, they charging to get in here? But you spent more than that on the weed you smoked before you got in there. Let me tell you something else about some of them Negroes in Memphis. Now they complained about paying to get into African April. It's like $8, $10. But those same black folks, or the so-called uppity blacks, they would crowd out up in East Memphis at this event called the Greek Festival where they paid to get in and they didn't complain about anything. You see what I'm talking about? It's not just Dallas, it's a Memphis, it's across the country how blacks are just so bass-backwards. We have this thing, we pay for what we want, but we tend to beg for what we need. Our people should have been paid for our freedom. They tried to, but always some Negro, somebody snitching us out. Now we're begging for freedom still in 2021. When we could have built a fence around our race a long time ago. That civil rights movement thwarted that effort. Say what you want to say, believe what you want to believe about that damn civil rights movement. It destroyed the pathway to actual racial freedom in this country for blacks. It opened us up to this travesty that we live today. We're dependent on everybody. Everybody pisses on us, even a small group like Asians, because we don't own anything. We don't even own tissue. We don't own anything. At least when we were segregated in Jim Crow, we had everything because we said, hey, whitey won't let us get it, so we got to get it. But after 1965, 1968, when Dr. King was almost alluding that we need to have our own, when he said, where's our check? You give the farmers low-interest loans so they can mechanize their farms. We have nothing for the black man. Where's our check? Oh, they took him out after that. They said, no, brother, we ain't going to let you talk about reparations. And how come y'all don't teach that Dr. King to your kids? Y'all teach the Dr. King that white people tell you to teach. I have a dream that black boys and black girls, blah, 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 blah. Not the real Dr. King, the one who was actually trying to lead those black folks who followed him to freedom. And when he started speaking about actual freedom, well, the black preachers and the black Greeks all separated from him, which left him wide open. Hell, some of them were very implicit in his murder. Because, see, there's a group in our group who benefits off of the masses of us being left behind. And Steve Coakley talked about these people. They're called the Black Boule, and you have a lot of them black Greeks. Yeah, of course they'll be mad, I'm saying, but hell, get in line. It's all written here. It's all written down. Just read the FBI files. Look it up. They'll tell you if every person that's implicated in the murder of Dr. King, a lot of the stuff, they're a member of a black Greek-led organization who tried to stop the freedom fight of black people, actual freedom of black folks. Always the black Greek-led so-called Negro leader or gay. Yeah. Somebody gonna know. What do you got against the Greeks? What do you got against the gays? Nothing. I'm just a love of history, and you should become one too. Read it sometime. Then you'll walk a mile in my shoes. See the hell that goes on in my head all the time. See, when you read better, you know better. You see things a lot clearer. But if you don't read, you have those fuzzy glasses on, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that. When that happened, I didn't know that. Read a book, goddammit. Look at a YouTube channel. You ain't have to read. You can go and look up the lectures on YouTube. Everybody I talk about, I mentioned all those scholars, they got a YouTube video up, a lecture. So if you don't like to read, listen. Grab a cocktail and a snack and listen. So these black folks talking about some anti-Asian hate, please. And they're just quickly pushing blacks to the back. We're already in the back. And we just stand there like, well, they gonna throw us some crumbs. They gonna throw us some crumbs. I know it's coming because the law gonna make sure that happen. Law ain't gonna let us down. We still believe in an old time Negro religion. And we're not getting off our ass. And so it's gotten so bad now that they've divided us more that small entity corporate groups are funding not the men, but funding the girls and the women. And the girls and the women they're on their own to shit. We surviving. That they're looking back and say, hey, these people getting us $10 billion. And go and take it. So take it. Take the money. One thing about black men, we're resilient. We're going to be here, even after y'all, because, get on TV and complain about, we can't find no husband. We can't find no one, no, because you don't want them. You're going to let them white feminists and white lesbians talk you out your family, talk you out your husband. And I know you think, well, we can marry anybody. Ain't nobody lining up to marry no black chicks. The only people who lined up to marry black women are black men, because we're married to black women 94%. But I know these TV commercials will have you believing that it's all interracial. That's propaganda too. Every time you look around, you see a black chick with a white man and a mixed baby. And a lot of sisters who are misled or kind of just weird and don't read shit, they look at it, well, yeah, that's the way to go. Give me a white man. Go on, get him. Go on. Get you a Chad Wheeler. Let him beat your ass and eat dinner. Then when you wake up from your ass whipping, you still alive? Get you one. Of course not all white boys like that. I'm just saying. I don't care who you date and marry, but don't play games, okay? Don't play these games. I don't care who you date. I don't care who you marry. But if you decide to marry out, stay out. Get the fuck on. You ain't got nothing to say about black men. If you're a black dude that got you a Latina, got you an Asian, got you a white woman, shut the fuck up about black women. I want to hear what comes out your mouth. I mean, that's real, because it's only fair. If after today, y'all see me, now I'll date whoever I want to. Now, if y'all see me and had a baby with a non-black chick, I've moved on. I ain't got nothing to say about what goes on with black people, black women. I'll probably still be concerned about black boys, though. Of course, I'll still be concerned about black men and black boys. But as far as talking about the black family, I have no interest in that. Because how I know that? Because I decided to have a baby with someone who isn't black. So how the fuck I'm going to have concern about a black family when I pulled a Candace Owens? I pulled a Serena Williams. I pulled a Tay Diggs. All these people that want to talk about blackness, but they ain't got none at home black but them. Get out of here with that shit. We're not Byron Allen, you my man, but shut up with the blackness shit. Alright? Just shut up, bro. I know you tried to use black folks to get that lawsuit in with CBS and shit. With the cable. What was that, the cable giant? Damn. Yeah, see, I'm just going to move on. I'm going to move on. Y'all see me in my little mix, my little Blasian or Blaxican baby. I've moved on. I ain't gonna call that Blaxican baby black. Well, my son black. His mama Mexican. No, my son's not black. If I wanted a black son, I would have had sex with me a Kiki or a Tasha, and created a baby. So y'all stop letting these people mix kids, talking about their kids black. Y'all cut the bullshit. I don't care how brown their skin, they're still not black. They're not raising them as black. Genetically, they're not black. But most of them folks have mixed kids. They hoping they don't come out dark. I went too far again. Damn. And I don't hate my biracial and my bi-ethnic babies at all, so don't y'all start that shit. Because you got something against, no. But I can point out the pink elephant in the black living room if I want to. Doesn't mean that I dislike anything. I just like pointing out what I see. A lot of us see it too. But we don't say shit about it. Well, I'll say it. Fuck it. I'll take that heat. I'll take all the smoke. It don't bother me. Because I've been given an assignment. I'm built for this. It doesn't bother me. When I was young, I was put through all the fire, you know. Chicks don't I want to holler at you. Dudes, no, ain't cool and shit. Do it, stop it, bro. You know, it is fine, man. It is cool. It is cool. And no, I don't get invited to all of the hottest events. That's why I've always done me. And you'll see me. You probably see me at a mixed club, dance my ass off. Like I said, I don't have a problem with people. What I did was the politics of race. And no, I don't want to talk all night on no damn panel with about 6 other motherfuckers because we've talked long enough. It's time for us to put our money where our race is and put our semen, our sperm, our eggs where our race is. It's time out for every time white media says, oh my God, that small ass group that's smaller than black people is being attacked. We all need to join hands. But when it comes to black folks, they got all these questions. What's happening? What's going on? Where are their fathers at? Where are they? Blah, blah. Do we need to ask where those Asian people's fathers are and all that shit? Why were they there? What's going on? And I know I'm going long. I just, it's just a mess. Because I really wanted to. When I saw that article, man, of Biden and Harris going to meet with them, but they credited black people, specifically black women, for saving the Democratic Party. Anyway, y'all, I think I'll end it at that. I think I've exhausted all of the thoughts on that, unless something else pops in my mind as I wind down. It's again, you can do what you want to do. You can have your anti-Asian, stop this anti-Asian hate, but when we start paying attention to our own issues, y'all realize we have a lot of work to do on our own. We don't have the energy. We don't have the time. We shouldn't have the money to be focused on other people's shit. Because those same people that they telling us to stop this anti-Asian shit. You look at what China, Japan, and all these other folks are doing to African immigrants. I know a lot of us don't want to connect with our African brothers and sisters, regardless of what you say, how they think about us. We come from that lineage. The reason we look lighter is because French, Belgian, German, who else all got a piece of that African ass doing the African slave trade, doing the transatlantic slave trade. That's why we got all these light-skinned folks. Then after a while, they start volunteering and mixing. But see, when in the mixing for us, we lost the culture. When people mix with us, they didn't lose their culture. We lost ours. And so we just right here, we don't know if we African American, black, this, Negro, well, colored. We let people, and then you smart ass blacks calling black folks people of color. We're not people of color. We are the infinite by which other colors have derived. Come on, somebody. I am the alpha. That's who we are. Other colors derived from us. I mean, colors derived from us. I'm black. I'm infinite. Look, we don't read. And so, we have to read deeper and go further in our reading and understanding. And stop being distracted by all this bullshit. If we can't talk about reparations as a collective, we can't talk about group economics as a collective, what the fuck are we talking about? We can't talk about building black families. Even though I'm a single man with no children, I still believe in black families. Can understand that is what keeps us going. That's how you keep generations of us going. But we start saying fuck black family, what else is there to talk about? If we don't want to talk about the rebuilding and the continuation of black family and fighting for reparations, what the fuck are we talking about? So having said that, thank y'all for listening on this Friday night. I think I'm going to go and maybe grab me a Apple Crown somewhere. And, or maybe, hell, just go grab me one of those big-ass Mr. Good bars somewhere. It sounds like a block of chocolate moment right now. Y'all be cool. I'll talk to y'all later. This has been Rico the Opinion. This is just sharing my opinions. I have my Cash App, my PayPal on this page. Cash App, Rico the Opinion is PayPal, Rico Rivers. Fool with me if you're cool with me. Y'all have a good weekend. Peace.